Hello everyone, what's up? This is Rich, and this is a quick Windows XP tutorial on how to use the Windows XP PowerToys. Yes, this has been covered many times on the internet, but however, the tutorials that I've found weren't really all that helpful, and there were very few ones that were in video form, so I thought I would do this one for you. If you go to google.com and just search for Windows XP PowerToys, and then click the I'm Feeling Lucky button, this will take you directly to the Microsoft PowerToys for Windows XP. There are quite a few of them. I'm going to scroll down here. There's only going to be a couple of them that I'm going to cover because there's quite a few of them here. The first one, which a lot of people would find useful, is the ClearType Tuner PowerToy. What this will do is that after you install it in your control panel, you'll actually have an icon called ClearType Tuning. It's suggested you get to it from the classic view. If you're in the category view, as I'm showing here, it's better if you go to classic view because it's easier to get to. So we do ClearType Tuning. What this will do is that it will give you more options for how font smoothing is done, or the ClearType in Windows XP. When you go to the wizard, you'll actually get more options, and you can choose the one you want and then have up to 6 different renderings of the fonts. Now, in this video, it's probably not readily obvious, but on your monitor, it will really be obvious, especially for those of you using LCD monitors, of which more or less everyone is using these days. This will actually come in quite handy, and for those that have vision issues, this will probably help out quite a bit. And you don't have to restart your computer or anything. Once you apply the settings, it's immediately set. So that is a cool one to use. The other one I'm going to show here is the Tweak UI. I'm kind of leery about showing this one because it is kind of a power user toy. When you install it, it goes into a folder called PowerToys for Windows XP off your all programs. So if you go Start and then All Programs, then PowerToys for Windows XP, then Tweak UI, UI meaning user interface. There are things in here which you just simply cannot get to ordinarily without going into the registry manager. I'll give you some examples here. On the desktop, you can actually choose what icons will show by default. You can even get rid of the recycle bin. It doesn't get rid of it, it just gets rid of the icon, because as you notice, you can't get rid of the icon by default, but if you want it gone, you can actually get rid of it here, and you can add icons here as well. In the control panel, you can actually take away icons if you wanted to, such as the ClearType Tuning applet. By unchecking it here, it doesn't mean that it deletes it by any means. What it means is that it just will not be available from the control panel anymore. There are other things such as access control, and probably the one that people would find most helpful here is the repair selection, which is all the way at the bottom here. If your icons or your fonts are messed up, what you can do is rebuild your icon database or repair your font folder. If you're the type of person that downloads many different fonts, and you'll notice that some of the fonts just don't work in certain programs, and maybe you need to go and repair the font folder, and with the Tweak UI, that is a way to do that. There are lots and lots of other things in here, but that's essentially it. What I'm going to cover here, that's what people would find most useful. Also, when you're actually downloading the Tweak UI, there are 2 versions. There's the regular version and the Itanium-based version. The Itanium-based version is only if you have an Itanium-based system. If you know what that is, then that's the one you need. It does not mean it's an advanced version. It's just for a very specific type of computer. So if you don't have an Itanium-based system, which the vast majority of us do not, then you would want the regular Tweak UI. Now, one that I'm going to show here is the Virtual Desktop Manager. Now, what I'm going to do is going to stop the video for a second and then show you what this actually does. Just a moment. Okay, after you have the Microsoft Virtual Desktop Manager installed, the way to get to it is that you go to a blank area of the taskbar at the bottom of the screen and then single right-click. Go to Toolbars, and then Desktop Manager. This will be a new selection, whereas it wasn't there before. And you'll see I have a green button, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is for desktop 1, 2, 3, and 4. Simple enough. Now, before I start switching desktops, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click the green button, and then left-click configure desktop images. What this will do is I'll be able to configure a different wallpaper for each desktop that I want. So I'm going to make them stretch for each one so that they size properly. And that should do it. Click apply, click OK. Now I'm going to go to desktop 2, and you'll see that the wallpaper has changed. Go to desktop 3, wallpaper has changed. Desktop 4, wallpaper has changed. Now I'm going to do a different option here. I'm going to right click again and then uncheck shared desktops. And what this will do is that it will make that the applications that I launch on each desktop individual to them. So let me just do this, and then I will pick the desktop I want. I'll go to desktop 4, and I will launch an Internet Explorer web browser. Then I will go back to desktop 1. I've already got a Firefox browser here. Let me resize that. And then I'll go to, and before I switch to desktops again, you'll see it shows an image of what's on each screen. I'll go to desktop 2, and then I will just open up a folder I have here. Those are some photos I had. And then I will go back to desktop 3, and let's just say I'll open up another web browser here, and I'll go to yahoo.com, and then I'll go back. Now I have 4 different apps on 4 different desktops, and you'll notice that when I go to each one, the taskbar only shows the one that is currently open for that desktop, because I have it purposely configured to not be shared, which to me is proper. You can have them shared if you want to, but I don't want to do that. Now you can just click desktops at whim by doing it this way, or you can use the animated way of doing it like this, and it really does work. And let's just say you don't want to do this anymore, you want to turn off the virtual desktop manager. We just right click toolbars, and then we uncheck the desktop manager. When we do this, all the apps from the other windows will just all of a sudden dump onto your primary screen, which is okay. So then you can access them and close them out, do whatever you need to do. And that's how to use a desktop manager. Okay, in closing, I'm just going to say that there are other utilities here for Windows XP that you may or may not find useful. You can try them all. They do not cost anything. Microsoft offers all of these for free. I believe that you do not even need Service Pack 2 to run these. You only need Service Pack 1. So, but we all should be running Service Pack 2 anyway, so just in case you wanted to know that. Some of these are power user utilities. Others are really easy to use. It all depends on how much that you want to get done at any given time, and if you actually need, like the taskbar manager, for example. I find that completely useless. I'll show you what it does real quick. If I launch the taskbar magnifier, we see it down here. It will magnify whatever you are on at the given time. But to be very honest, it only looks like a very watered down version of the OS X dock. And I don't like the dock, but the dock does do magnification better. Anyway, those are the toys, and you've got the link. Just go to Google and search for Windows XP PowerToys. You'll be brought right here, and happy computing, everyone.